stream is an exciting stream for me because it's quite an exciting. It's a big booking announcement for me, but it's a stream that I did not expect that I would be doing today, and essentially I've got a booking to announce. It's a mega booking, and I'm so privileged with this one. And I just didn't expect that the artwork on the flyer was going to come out today. There was kind of like no warning. The last I heard, the artwork was being worked on, and now I'm absolutely buzzed about this one. And I actually thought it was an MC gig, and I actually now seeing on the flyer that I'm actually DJing it. And you'd think like, well, you should know this, Noble. If if you're taking a booking, you should know what you're doing. But the thing is about me, because I do both, and because of the way like the conversation went, I just kind of thought it was like a little bit of an MC gig, but I'm not really fussed. Like whatever it is, like I will put something together for it. Do you know what I mean? Doing a set is an absolute, it's a bigger buzz than ever for me, and I'm so privileged and honoured, and I can't wait to put a set together. But if it had been MCing, I would have wrote and worked on bars and been, still being excited. So, yeah, so this one's a really, really, really big one for me. A little while back, about nearly three weeks back now, I got a text off a guy who's a legend in the scene, he's been an MC for years. He's been an MC for years, and then he went into a little bit of retirement and took a little bit of a break. And some people doing it, and I don't know what brought him back. I don't know if he like promoters were just wanting him, or if he was just like missing the vibe and the music. But to cut the story short, he essentially came back out of retirement, and since coming back out of retirement, he's had a good run. He's played some amazing venues and events, but alongside playing these venues and events, he's MC'd for a lot of up and comers. He's seen a lot of up and comers. He's seen the vibe. He's seen sort of new brands sort of like start out and then take off and become something. And he's just had a really enjoyable music vibe in general. And his birthday was coming up, so I got a message about 3 weeks back from a legend. Said that he was wanting to put together a little bit of a birthday celebration, and it said that he wanted to get like promoters and like some of the up and comers involved, and just give a little bit of a thank you to the promoters what have booked him, and just to also like showcase some of the talent that these brands have been offering. So like some of the up and comers, and so some people that have been doing quite well. And I was very honoured to have been asked to do a little something at this event, and I was absolutely over the moon. So I'm happy. I'm over the moon to announce to you that I've been booked for ELL's birthday bash. Yes, Mr. Danny Chowler, Mr. MC ELL, who has been smashing it for years, and he's put together this absolute monster of a birthday bash, and just the whole concept of it, let alone what the actual lineup is and what is going down. The whole concept of it is just a brilliant idea, because for one, like I said before, it's giving like a little bit of a thank you to these like promoters and brands that have booked him, and not just once, but on a couple of occasions these brands have had him to play down at their events. And then not only that, he's put some of the, some like up and comers and some people that are obviously doing well at the moment, and some people that are absolutely smashing smashing the scene at the moment. And just sort of said like, well, these people, get, they deserve a chance. And, we've seen these people, I've seen these people doing well, he said, and he's basically put these people on. And obviously, he's asked myself, which is absolutely, I'm just absolutely buzzed and honoured, really, that I actually feel a little bit like, I don't want to say emotional, but I definitely feel like this booking, compared to getting some bookings, I do definitely feel like this booking has definitely like hit me, because this person alone has smashed it for years. And when someone who does smash it for years, does physically come in your inbox and literally says that you deserve that shot. And and just the fact that, to know myself that, all these sets I'm doing, and all these times I've been on the mic, and all the your hard work and support I've been doing in the scene, even before, he decided to book me, he's seen that hard work. And it makes it feel like, moments like these, when you get these opportunities and you get these legends that sort of like giving you a nod and saying, you're doing good, Noble. It makes it really exciting. It makes it really feel like, do you know what, everything I've done from 2015 to sat in my bedroom writing that writing that little To The Beat One Time MC. Still remember it like it's yesterday. Chilling out with some mates in the park, and they were all like spit bars, and I wouldn't dare do it. Sort of to where we are now, to being on, the same flyer as some of the biggest brands in our area. And just having the legend actually physically wanting to book me for something is just absolutely incredible. So let's sort of take a little bit of a look down this lineup then, shall we? And let's sort of dissect and go through this lineup, because it's a nice lineup of, like I say, promoters that have booked ELL, and some up and comers that have been smashing events with these brands that he's been booked for as well. And myself, I'm actually at the bottom of the flyer. It says also featuring Noble. So I'm just I'm like bottom on the DJ list, but I'm like just above the MCs. So that's why I was kind of a little bit like, well, I'm actually DJing, because if I was MCing, I think I'd have just been put in the MC area, because there's like up and coming MCs in the MC area. I should probably text and just clarify, but I'm pretty certain that it is obviously for a set. I'm like just below all the other DJs, but because I don't like, the thing with me is like I'm not like a resident to a certain brand. I've actually on this whole flyer and lineup itself, I've actually only played for one brand that that is a part of this lineup. I mean, technically one of the others I've grabbed the mic at the event, but like I say, I mean, I've been to most of these events and supported them. There's just a couple that I've not actually been to, but I've kind of just had a booking sort of here and sort of a booking there, as opposed to kind of like playing the same sort of like, having like being a resident to a brand, if you like. So I've kind of done my own thing. I mean, I sort of do quite a bit with Bounce to Your Drop, as you know. Done a few things with some other brands, but I've never really like been a resident as such. So I've kind of just been like Noble. He's done a bit of everything. So whereas the flyer itself has kind of got like people's like DJ names, and then kind of like who they're representing, or what brand they're representing. So we'll go down and we'll dissect the flyer. So the first brand is Faction, and this is DJ Kirby's brand. So he puts this night on, and he's actually just brought this brand back. He took a little bit of a break for a year and didn't do anything with this brand, and he's actually just brought it back this year, and he's announced an event with Andy Whitby. So Kirby and M. Cowell, they're representing the faction brand, so they're playing on the lineup. I'm not sure if they're like this means they're going to be B2B, or if it just means they're both going to just play on the night. I know the event itself, it's actually spread across 3 rooms. We'll get onto the third room a little bit later on, but the sort of like main part of the flyer is actually across 2 rooms. So the DJs and the MCs, they'll all spread across like room 1 and room 2. So the main sort of attraction of this event is there isn't really as such what you'd call like a main room. So there isn't kind of like a big room and then a smaller room. It's just sort of like everybody is just sort of across these 2 rooms. So no one in one room is like bigger and better than anybody else, if that makes sense. Kind of like, you'll have some events and it'll be like Whitby and so in the main room, and then you'll have like room 2 and there'll be like more like up and comers and stuff in it. This one is just, there's 2 rooms. It doesn't really matter which room you're playing as such. I don't think it should be good, but like I say, I don't know if it's like B2B or not. They don't say B2B on the flyer, so I'm just sort of just imagining that it's just essentially going to be like just them both playing, but maybe one plays in one room, one plays in the other room and represents the brand. I'm not sure. So yeah, so the first one is Faction with Kirby and N Cowell. And then the second one is the Mighty Dioxide. Faction, by the way, I think that event takes place in Pontefract. I think that's where that takes place. I can't remember the name of the venue. But Dioxide, the Mighty Dioxide, Joe Rose, his event at the Doncaster Warehouse is absolutely heaving in there. There's actually a Dioxide on this Saturday at the Doncaster Warehouse. I will probably be there. I mean, I'm there on the Friday gigging anyway, but I will probably be there. So Joe Rose and 8Ball, they're representing Dioxide, which is going to be absolutely fantastic. Then you've got the mighty TFI. So everyone knows TFI, Thank Fuck It's Friday. They always run events on Friday at the Doncaster Warehouse. It was always full of like sort of like hard trance, UK hardcore bounce. Always absolutely smashed it. And you've got Halty and Airwin that are going to be representing the TFI Friday. So that there is mega in itself, and some absolutely belting sets is going to be coming out from some of these DJs already. Loads of different styles of music, from bounce to the harder sounds. And then next up after that, we've got the mighty Stomping from Hull that I've played for quite a few times over the sort of 4 years. And Stomping is coming up to its 4th birthday. So 4 years in the game is a good achievement to get to. And they're celebrating their 4 years with DJ Scoot and MC Corky. And there is some other lineup, obviously. I just can't fully remember what it is. I can't remember if there's any more headliners or not. But then there's like usual Stomping residents, and there's a little D&B thing taking place in the second room, which will be quite interesting to see how that plays out. And I don't mind a bit of D&B. I'm not sure if I'm going to be at the event yet, because I don't always agree to going to an event until like I know for certain that I probably aren't going to get a booking, because you could always get a booking. And this is why I don't buy tickets either, because you can just end up getting a booking, and then you kind of got a ticket to get rid of, and half the people I'd probably say, do you want a ticket, you would already have one. So I always like to kind of hold off, and then if I end up being free and I've got nothing on, I think I might I'll probably go to it, but it just varies. Then after that, we've got the mighty Future Beats, which is Cy Joblin, so Synergy's event, Cy Joblin's mighty Future Beats. They put a boat party on. They often fill out. They often sell out the warehouse, booking a range of absolute monster DJs from Club Filler Sai, David Rust. They put so many people on over the years. I think I don't know if they ever did have Andy Whitby. I can't remember, but they've had a massive range of people over the time playing. And I think they themselves have just celebrated their 11th birthday, which is crazy to think. And representing Future Beats, you've got none other than the legend Owen NRG, who is up and coming young bounce DJ who's absolutely been smashing it. So he'll be doing an absolutely belting set. He always does. Absolutely smashes it every time. And then next up, we've got the new event, which has not been running for too long, but is starting to make waves in Hull. And that is the mighty Humber Vibe, where we've got the sounds of DJ P, one of the sort of like promoters of Humber Vibe, and then we've got his other half, Lee DE, and they've smashed quite a lot of bookings over the time, playing in the Doncaster Warehouse, having sets at Uprising, and just absolutely smashing it. And they're always at events supporting the sounds as well. I always see them floating about in the warehouse at various events, which is a really good thing to see. Sadly, Danny Yen, he couldn't make this booking. He's the other promoter for Humber Vibe, but he's out at sea, so sadly that is not happening, unfortunately. Following on from that, we've got the mighty Pulsation that takes place. It took place in Barnsley, and then I think they moved it to Sheffield. And supporting that, we've got the sounds of DJ Jim, who is smashing out Makina. He's been making a lot of hard trance and Makina productions himself. And then we've got Coops, who plays at Dioxide and various different events. I think he's also played at like Faction and Future Beats and stuff. Absolutely going to smash it. Then we've got Clubfest, which I don't know too much about Clubfest. I entered their competition last year and sadly didn't get through, but a good friend of mine did. They put on a little festival. And they've put a guy on called Furphy. I don't actually know who the person is, sadly, or might have seen him before. I don't know, but the name doesn't ring a bell to me. But again, I'm sure he'll play an absolutely belting set. And again, it's all about sort of just to put someone a bit different as well, which will be really good. Following on from that, we've got the mighty Spin Back, which is my good friend Mike Bush's event. He runs like this old school night where he puts like old school sounds on, like bouncy techno, old school hard trance, a bit of early hard style, and it just sort of takes you back in the day and puts on these old school nights where just absolutely smashes it, and just gives people that real sort of old school vibe and old school feel, which is a really good thing. And just if you want to go back in time and you want to hear them sort of like old sounds again and get that feel of what it sounded like back in the day again, go to a Spin Back and you're guaranteed to hear it. Following on from that, we've got the mighty Hard Drive, Scunthorpe's growing brand with Brooks and Nico representing the two sort of like head honchos of Hard Drive, if you like. And Hard Drive is making waves. They've just moved into the Light Club at Scunthorpe, which is also the home of Bounce to Your Drop, where I've played quite a few times in there now. Really nice venue in there, so I hope them obviously all the best in the new venue, and it'd be really good to have them at this event as well. They always smash it. Again, Nico and Brooks, they played a fair few events themselves. Nico's played for like Dioxide, Future Beats, TFI, I think he's also played for Faction as well, and stuff like that, which is obviously a good thing in itself. Then following on from that, we've got Scarborough's fast-growing brand, Bounce Elements, with the sounds of James Avon and Lukey G. Lukey G being a Bounce Elements resident, and James Avon being the head honcho of Bounce Elements in itself. So absolutely buzzing that they're going to be involved. They're going to smash some absolute belting sets themselves. So Lukey G always pulls out a banging bounce set. James Avon, he's just one of them. Sometimes he'll play like a bounce set, sometimes he'll play like an hardcore set, but he always smashes it. Then next up, we've got Chain Reaction. I've seen the flyer for this event. I've never been to one of their nights, and they've got a guy on called Grobsy, and again, I sadly, maybe I have heard of this guy before, but I don't remember, so I do apologise. It might be thinking, you missed me out, Noble, we've had a picture at so-and-so. I just don't remember. I see a lot of people, and the names just don't always remember to me, and like I say, I've not actually been to a Chain Reaction event yet. Unfortunately, I've just never got the chance to go to one. And then last but not least, I did say it before, but myself at the bottom, so I'm obviously at the bottom there, gonna smash out an absolute belting set. I'm not too sure what to play yet, to be honest. It's a little bit early in the day, but at the same time, I get a little bit excited as well. So it's one of those, like, it's early in the day, but when you kind of like want to do something so good. So I am sort of thinking to myself, like what am I going to play? And it is on my mind. So MCs, we've got Nats, so the legend Nats. We've got JD Walker. ELL is not having a night off for his birthday. He's going to MC a set himself. He's going to do what he does best on his birthday, host a set. We've got Space, we've got Synergy, Marco Stafford, Dowling, Winnie B. We've got Stokesy, we've got Fergs, we've got Simpson, we've got MC Critical, and we've got one dash Bezzy. Not heard of one dash Bezzy. Winnie B. I've heard of Winnie B, but I don't know if I've ever seen him at an event. Stafford, I've seen before. Simpson, I've heard of, but I've seen online, but I don't think I've ever like seen in person. So I would imagine that these MCs will probably like go across rooms. I'm not sure like if the MCs are just in the room one, or if they do go across two, or if like any of the MCs are like B2B. Or anything like that. I'm not exactly sure, but Marco and stuff like that, they'll all smash it, as you know. They'll all smash it. So on to the final part, which is the room 3. And this is something that is actually a little bit different, and this is actually something that I'm quite looking forward to as well, because as much as everything above is going to be absolutely fantastic and wicked, there's a third room, and it's hosted by Gumbo online radio station. Now, I've not heard of this like Gumbo Radio, but there's a couple of DJs, quite a few DJs that obviously must be a part of Gumbo Radio and play sets on Gumbo Radio. And we've got some like old school hip hop, we've got some D&B, we've got some electro, we've got some like acid electro, which will be quite interesting. We've got some reggae, believe it or not. And we've also, I can't see what that one actually says. I'm trying to, oh yeah, so we've got, I don't know what it says, but then we've also got some speed garage. And, I ain't going to sit here and lie to you. I love a bit of speed garage. I do like D&B. Reggae, I am we did Good Life, we did Tunnel, we did Feeling So Good. I do like my like reggae. Old school hip hop, I prefer it to the new school hip hop, which will be good. And the acid electro will just be something a little bit different. So I suppose, when I'm not on my set, and I will probably have myself a little bit of a venture, and I will probably have a little bit of a wonder into this little third room, and just sort of have myself a little bit of a look as to what's going down, and as to what's taking place. So for those of you who haven't seen the flyer yet, here is a little print out of the flyer I've just printed out myself tonight. You can see all the brand names on there. You can see myself. I'm just literally there in quite small print, but I am there, and it should be a really fun night. But yeah, this is why I was getting a little bit confused, but it does kind of make sense. So obviously, if I'm here, I would imagine, because these are all DJs for the main sort of like part of the flyer, and then I'm at the bottom, and I'm not in this little black box here, this little black sort of not really a box, but it's almost like a thin rectangle, and it's got the MC names in them, and I'm not in there. So I'm thinking that because I'm like just sort of below the DJs, and I'm just here, that obviously I'm featured sort of like to DJ. So put a set together, play something at this event, which like I say, I'm obviously honoured to do. And like I was saying before, I don't necessarily represent a brand as such, because the thing for me is, and I'm sure most of these people would as well, is I'll play for anything. If people essentially want to book me and have me a part of their event, like I'm open to discuss, and I'm open to play. And that is the sort of like the that is the story, full stop. But no one has like physically made me a resident, or said, look, do you want to be resident for our brand? And some people think like, oh yeah, I can't wait to announce that I'm resident for Banging Beats, or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Whereas me, I do kind of like being sort of like independent. I'm not sort of like physically tied to a brand itself. But I am happy for I'm happy to play more than once for a brand. I'm happy to happy to play for a brand, and sort of like support and represent the brand. But I don't want to sort of be tied to something. So when people say like thinking about booking that Noble, oh yeah, Noble, that Banging Beats guy, that Banging Beats resident, yeah, he plays for Banging Beats. Him, I want people to sort of think, oh, that guy done a bit of everything. So I'm quite buzzed in a way that I am sort of like just Noble, which is, but at the end of the day, I'm just like I say, I'm honoured to be a part of this event. It's I'm absolutely and like I say, massive respect to ELL. For bringing me on board. Like I say, he could have asked anybody. There's loads of up and comers, and there's loads of people on here that would have cried out for a shot, more than likely, and people that would have loved to have represented something like this. And like I obviously say, it's just it's an absolute honour to be able to announce this, and be a part of it. And I just hope that we can give ELL a good birthday, and hopefully again it gives some of us that are sort of up and coming as well, gives us a little bit of a shot in the limelight, because it can be hard, like what the Warehouse did at the weekend, where they put some people on that don't necessarily always get the main stage. They don't always get booked, or they are often sort of like just put in the room too, or put in the boiler room, or something like that. Nothing against going or playing in there, but sometimes it's a nice feeling to get that opportunity to say, look, come and play in our main room, come and play on our main stage. And it's just a buzz. So obviously this is just an absolutely mega booking for me. I've been wanting to announce this for ages. It was an exciting one. It was absolutely buzzing. But yeah, what can I say? I'm absolutely buzzed for it. So once again, big up to EWL for the booking opportunity. All the brands, have been absolutely smashing it. Absolutely playing just putting some amazing nights on, and it's good that we can all sort of come together under one roof, all brands, all sort of party alongside each other, all sort of represent each other, and just all be together to celebrate EWL's birthday bash. And yeah, so what one thing I didn't say, which I probably should have said near the beginning of the stream, because I don't know who's gonna like lock back in and watch till this, till this lot far in the stream. It's on the 25th of March, and it's in Sheffield, and it's at the Sydney and Matilda. It's at the Sydney and Matilda. So I've never been to this venue, but apparently there's free rooms. So the main, like I said, the main sections across room 1 and 2, and then room 3 you've got this Gumbo Radio, which I'm actually really interested. The room 3 is really sticking out for me, because there's people on there that I've never heard of before, and there's just like essentially just absolutely some different styles and sounds going in there. And as much as I love the main part of the flyer, do not get me wrong, and I can't wait to be alongside them and to see what they bring. But a lot of these DJs, I have seen them play countless times, so it will be nice to go and see what some of these like reggae DJs and again Mickey M, a guy called Mickey M, is doing the speed garage, and I like a bit of speed garage, so it's going to bring something a little bit different, and it's going to bring quite a good party, because there'll be different people that might even come to the event for sort of like the sort of like room 3 to hear that sort of like speed garage reggae, the old school hip hop. Who knows? The hip hop guy might put a nice little hip hop instrumental on, and we'll do a little bit of rapping and stuff. Who knows? I doubt it. Just a bit of a joke, but you never know. They might, and then they might just say, oh, you spit bars, and and again, the D&B, be really nice to hear a little bit of D&B in there, especially if it's a nice little naughty jump up set. It might be a bit more old school D&B, I'm not sure. But Gumbo Radio, they're coming to take over room 3, which is going to be absolutely fantastic. And yeah, mega buzzed with this booking announcement once again. So for anybody who's coming, what I can tell you at the moment before we do shut off is it is £15 on the door. I think there will be a ticket link. It's just that I know of it. It's not being created yet, which is absolutely fantastic. So when it does, it starts at 10. And obviously finishes at 4 in the morning, so it's a 10 till 4 job, 10 till 4 a.m. And as for transport, I'm not like completely entirely sure what's going to happen as of yet with the transport. Whether, because there was talk, someone said to Humber Vibe about putting a bus on from Hull, like a little coach on. So if a little coach does happen to take place, then obviously I will probably ride on the coach. If not, then I will probably train, and I will probably hotel, and then I'll probably just train back the next day. Or I might even possibly necessarily get a lift back. It all just depends. But a bit early in the day yet, we'll find out if any buses, any coaches come about. It's going to be a mega event. It's built up a shed load of interest. I mean, when I posted it alone, it got 33 likes, and that wasn't that's not including the post that EWL put up himself. That post has actually had 271 likes. And then other people that are on this lineup have obviously shared the flyer themselves, and people that support them have obviously shared this flyer, like the post and stuff. So really good. So that's going to do it for the stream. Make sure to like, comment, share, and we'll see you soon.